Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina episode. I am really super excited because I do have a retired teacher who is going to talk about some of the things that she did when she was teaching at the Lancaster City Schools. And she's also going to talk about something else, a program that she makes things for to sell at a local coffee shop to help students to get to these trips that they take. It's really cool. And then unfortunate news about a friend that her husband has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and we're going to talk about how I'm hoping they are an amazing, amazing family that are so loving and giving and give back in the community all the time. And we'll share with ways that you can help them out, and I hope you can. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have Carol Koksal with me. She happens to be a retired teacher from the Lancaster City Schools.
Yes.
Yes. What grade?
I taught music kindergarten through 5th grade from
Music.
Lancaster. Yes.
I feel so sorry for you because some people love music and some kids just are like, no. Did you have to do for years of just if you don't want to sing, just mouth the words? Or were there some kids, which I would have probably been one of those students, where you would have said, Tina, please just mouth the words?
No. I never ever said that to a
Good
child.
for you.
And I had one of my son's friends, his father came up to me and said, you know, they told me in school just to mouth the words, and I've always had this thing about singing now. And I thought, I will never do that to a child because it's forever.
Yeah,
so I never did that in my entire teaching career.
And that is awesome that you didn't, because it does. It puts an insecurity in them to not just music. I would think that they would think that their voice overall in general was not a good voice. I heard myself one time when I was recording a recorder. Remember back in the day we had recorders, tape recorders. And I heard myself and I said, oh my goodness, I sound like a boy. And then one time a mom, this is why girls should never call boys. Because a mom answered the phone and thought I was one of his little guy friends.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life. So Carol, I don't think you know my background, but I got into radio and somebody said I had a radio voice, and that is the very first time I ever felt confident about my voice. It took 38 years for me to actually feel confident.
Well, I'm glad you do, because it really can. It really made an impression on me what that parent said to me.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So how do you teach kids to have confidence with their voice, no matter what voice?
For me, as being a music teacher and coming from a family of teachers, you really have to get them involved. You can't just say, this is what we're doing. You kind of almost sneak them into it.
Okay,
I'm going to sing something, you're going to sing it back to me. They don't realize that I'm actually setting them up for success because I've given them a good example. Then they do it.
Yeah.
And we work on that for years, actually.
You know what the irony of this is, and I was just telling folks, Carol, that I work at the detention center contingent sometimes. So when I do my show some days, I will go in and work half days.
Right.
They needed a substitute teacher, so I was there, and they were watching the movie I Can Only Imagine with Bart. I can't think of it. It's Mercy Me. He's in the group. Can't think of his last name. Millard, maybe, I want to say. Anyways, the story of it is that his music teacher, I didn't get to watch all of it, I just saw part of it. And somebody encouraged him or something with music class, and he wasn't singing, and then he was singing because she didn't have a place for him, I think, in one of the music groups. And then she heard him singing, and then she was just like, and it went, of course. went
I
from
haven't seen
there.
that movie,
Yeah,
so now I'm going to need to get that one and
yeah, because it
check it
happens.
out.
It does have to do with the music teacher and what she saw in him and was just like, he can sing, and put him in right away. And then of course we all know, I can only imagine, has been around since I want to say the late 90s. So, and it's still a very popular song. And even the kids in the detention center that were watching it were just like, wow. But being music based, I thought that just happened the day of our interview. So how ironic that things like that. So it does. It makes a big difference when you give them encouragement.
Right. And you have to set a platform for their success. You can't just toss them out. They need a base.
Have you ever had to tell somebody that they were limited in their singing? That's where my kids did it for me, and my sisters told me.
And one of my favorite populations to teach when I was teaching, since I started in 1982, was to teach special populations that might have, some disabilities or different abilities. And you teach them to be successful. You set that foundation. And they can do it. They do it in their own way. They might not, go on to perform in college or something, but they are successful in their own way, and that's so important that people recognize that.
Let me ask you this, because this just came to mind. And I know I speak of myself in a lot when it comes to things like this. I know when I was a kid, I had a lot of hearing issues. Do you think with students, and is it tone deaf, that they have problems with when it does come to singing? Because there are some amazing voices out there that you wouldn't think until they opened their mouths and started singing that they could sing.
Some of it is that there's an unrealistic expectation, because they'll hear somebody on American Idol and they'll want to sing like they do, and it's not realistic for most children. And some of those children who sing, who we think are fantastic, they go on to damage their chords. So we're not setting good expectations for them.
Okay.
And then some of it can be hearing. One of the things that audiologists and speech therapists are finding is that the children are turning up those headphones and they're damaging their ears at a young age.
Which can hurt them singing as well, because you have to be able to. You
have to hear around you, the pianist or the violinist. You've really got to take care of your ears and your voice, or you're not going to be able to sing the way you should. Maybe not the way you want to.
Right, yeah.
But you've got to take care of yourself.
So don't set your children up for failure.
Right.
And do the right thing for the voice, because it is a very, very sensitive, tender, especially if it is something that they have that's beautiful. And don't overdo it.
And they love it. I mean, kindergarten through 5th grade in Lancaster for 25 years, most children like to sing. They don't want, some of them don't want you to know that, but they like to sing.
Yeah.
So
you, and as teacher, thank you for the many of years. How many years actually?
40.
Oh my.
I started in 1982. I taught 2 years at Fairfield Union. I got married and we went to Alliance, Ohio for my husband's job. And then I taught there, and I taught junior high there, which I dearly loved, having a choir and all that. And then the plant he was at shut down. And we were actually transferred to our hometown. We came back.
Wow.
So
nice.
Nice. And so then I started with Lancaster K through 5.
Okay. And then you just retired then?
I just retired. That's 40 years.
Nice.
82 to 2023.
To 2023. Oh, so you just did, So, okay, we've only got a couple minutes. I can't believe we talked so much.
Sorry.
It's great. No, it's not you, it's me, because I'm just so fascinated. I love music as well. But you make things to sell, to help students. Can we, in a couple of minutes, kind of put in all of that?
I've traveled for over 20 years with students on student travel programs.
Okay.
Right now, I travel with a group called the Global Citizen, and they want students from anywhere in the United States. I even had one from Costa Rica, but they want students to experience other parts of the world. So for us, it's taking them out of Fairfield County. And last year, my students went to Boston, Iceland, and London.
Wow.
I've taken kids to Australia, in 2010, I took 40 students to China with 4 other teachers. We get them out of their comfort zone, and we help them understand what it's like to live in Iceland for 7 days.
Different cultures, different emphasis on life. Oh. And so... how fun.
I know. It's fun for me.
Right. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
The first trip I went on, one of the guides said, "You have as much fun as the children." I said, yes, I do. Yes. Why not? And we prepare the kids very well. Nice. They meet with us. We talk to them.
What youth are eligible for this and the qualities that you have?
We take kids usually around 14 through 18. We have one program per summer. This year it's Greece and Italy, and next summer it's most likely going to be France and Spain. So
I'm gonna have to look into this one.
I know.
See what this is about.
I know, but to help the kids earn some of their money,
yes,
I sell bags. This is just a bag that I brought today.
Yes, you can hold them up here.
Hold it up.
Even hold one up for you as well.
Oops,
I'll even take
that one actually has stuff in it.
Okay.
That's a project bag.
Oh,
and
cute.
This is just a take your books to the library bag. And this one, if you flip it over,
that's beautiful.
It's all upholstery material that a person here in town gave me to use for it because she thought it was a great idea what I was doing.
I have a friend of mine who has upholstered booklets of samples.
Yes,
it might
that's
be
what
the
this
same
person
one.
gave
me. That's hilarious.
Yes,
if it's the same one, but we'll talk about that often.
Yeah.
So and you can buy these where and they help.
El City Coffee.
El City Coffee.
Mm-hmm. They've been very kind.
Oh, that is
very kind.
So awesome.
Yeah.
As far as finding out for the other things, rather they may have a student that they're interested in participating in this, or they want to give monetarily or to help out in any way. How can they contact you?
They can contact me, and I'll give you my contact information.
Wonderful.
And we're always looking for students who are trustworthy and have a sense of adventure.
Sure.
And then we help them get some money to go.
All right. Wonderful. And then, and in the meantime, you like the bags, sandbags, the library bags, the project
There's 4
bags,
down there right now, and I'll drop some more off.
Wonderful.
As they sell. I put more in.
And El City is right downtown on Broad Street. Yes, you can't miss it.
It's wonderful.
Thank you, Carol, so much for everything that you've done. Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I unfortunately have some things to share that it's a long time friend of mine and what they're going through in their family. And we've got some people who are trying to help to raise funds for them. You're watching Downhill with Tina, and I'll be right back.
I really like Fairfield County because we're just a great mix. We're not so isolated that we don't have resources, but we're also small enough that it's a real community. And I will say that I don't think I've ever seen or worked in a place where so many partners in the community come together and are truly collaborative.
I've been working in Fairfield County for over 20 years, and I've had a variety of positions within the county. Being a smaller county, I've been able to get to know the service agencies better and people that work within that. So I've always had those opportunities to be creative, to think out of the box. And through those collaborations, we've been able to really build some wonderful programming for the youth and families.
I think that everybody is really community-minded, and they're really focused on, within the system of mental health care, they're really focused on getting people access to the care that they need and making sure that we're serving the people in Fairfield County.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have unfortunate news, as I had mentioned at the end of the last segment. A really good friend of mine, I have known her since kindergarten, and it was in 3rd grade our paths crossed again when I found out that her son was going to Bremen Elementary. My son was going to Pleasantville, and they don't come together until middle school, which is 5th grade. Well, we were on a field trip, and I saw her, and I have to tell you, she's one of those people that you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We were so excited. Well, since then, our paths have continued to cross throughout the years at different school events and things like that. And again, she's just one of those fun people that actually I ran into her with a grocery cart one time at the grocery store, and she didn't see me, and I was just like, how dare you run into me? And she jumped up and we laughed. She just is that good, awesome spirit. Well, I saw just a few days ago that her husband was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And he also, a couple weeks after that, had a stroke. And so for this family to be going through the things that they're going through is just heartbreaking to me. And I called her up and I was talking to her. But in the meantime, I knew that there are people in the community that wanted to do something to help raise funds for this that they're going through. So Traci Mahler is one of those who, she had her own experience with cancer several years ago. And I remember that. That's when we got to know one another. And she is doing, and you look amazing. And I'm so excited. Throughout the years, though, for what the kids in the community did for you, Traci, led you to what you do now for other families?
Absolutely. And it's more about the care and compassion than it really is the funds.
Because what did it do for you in that time that you went through?
It provided me hope. It provided me hope. It provided me with support from people that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And there's power in the prayer of other people, of a community. And I knew then that if I got to a position in my life where I could make that happen for other people, then I was going to continue to do that. And through my experience, working with the school, I saw a lot of that hope in the kids at our district. And since then, I have been very successful with soccer program to do a Kicking Cancer. We've done one about every year. We've had, unfortunately, a recipient almost every year that has been affected by cancer in our community. And I have enjoyed watching the kids really learn from this experience. And more so than, funds always help a family in this time of need, but truthfully, they just need a community to rally around them.
To show that love and support, no matter what. And that's what Michelle Cooperider, her maiden name's Campbell, so those who are from the Sugar Grove area, as I am, know the Campbells and that family. Absolutely amazing family. And then I've gotten to know her husband, Ron, and Ron is the one who's been diagnosed, and they're going through this. But you are doing an event for them, and Kim Baker is my understanding.
Yes.
At some basketball games coming up at Fairfield Union.
Yes. I'm working with the high school boys and girls basketball team to do 2 events. The girls play on January 31st.
Okay.
And the boys play on February 1st.
Okay.
So at the girls' game, we're going to honor Kim Baker, who is a longtime Fairfield Union person. She has done the stats. For
Volunteer.
She's done the girls' stats consistently for at least 5 or 6 years. And she, too, was diagnosed recently with stage 4 cancer. And even through her treatment, she has continued to be there for the girls' team, which the Cooperider's daughter plays for. So it has been a challenge for both the boys and girls program because Seth Cooperider, Ron's son, is the freshman boys basketball coach. So I've talked to both coaches and we agreed we really needed to do something collectively to bring both teams together to support both of these individuals.
And Traci, I want to talk a little bit about Ron and Michelle Cooperider and their volunteerism as well. They have been involved in the community since we had talked before your daughter, there's a picture of T-ball when she was in T-ball. So they've volunteered and done a lot in the community. So it's giving back to people who are basically, that just breaks my heart. Because I said, I don't wish anything like this to bad people. But when it's really good people like this, the Bakers, Kim Baker and the Cooperiders, it breaks your heart because it's like, what can we do together? Michelle was overwhelmed when I talked to her on the phone. She's overwhelmed by the love and support that people have already given.
Yeah.
So
I know I
get emotional because she's a dear friend, just a great person.
When I first heard about Ron, I had forgotten that he was actually the first coach outside of my husband that our daughter had ever had. So she was, very young, T-ball. And I have this great picture of the award night, whatever that means for T-ball kids. But it was raining, so they all came back to my house. And Ron took an individual picture with every single kid on that team on their level. And Ron's, kind of a big guy. And he has a smile that just can light up a room.
He does.
He does.
And he's so quiet. He comes to our class reunion stuff with Michelle, and somebody's like, is he one of our classmates? And she's like, he may as well be. I was like, but he just smiles. He's such a calm spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so from there, he has, obviously our kids are the same age, so he's coached baseball, but more importantly, I became very involved in our Biddy basketball program, and I ran that program for several years with the Fuel League. And Ron was one of my long-standing coaches that, again, gave a lot of his time. So not only did he produce athletes that have now graduated and are succeeding at the coaching level, he has coached a lot of kids to come through Fairfield Union.
Traci, where can people follow to know what's going on with the basketball games? Because you're going to have T-shirts and all kinds of things, right?
Yes.
And then there's another event that you are going to have for the Cooperider standalone on, I know we were the
February 25th.
Yes.
At the Valley View Hills Winery in Sugar Grove.
Okay, and more details to come with that.
Yes.
Yes, and we're going to have all of that. So
Yes.
So how can they contact you to follow this?
So the best way is through Twitter, social media,
Facebook, and I will share what I can as well, and I'll continue on Downhill with Tina, guys. Yes, it'll be there.
So Mr. Schaefer, who is our high school assistant principal and also our boys basketball coach, he is a whiz when it comes to social media. So he has been posting that on all of the high school Twitter pages.
Okay.
Or if somebody still needs more information, they can always call the Fairfield Union High School office. I work in that building and I can be contacted that way.
And donations monetarily will go 100% right back to.
Yes.
If you write Cooperiders, this is something, or whatever.
100%.
So, yes.
And so also with the games, we're going to have a 50-50 raffle. We're going to have half of beef that was been donated for a raffle. And then we have Big Ideas here in town. They locally put together some T-shirts that we will be able to raise some funds from the sale of those T-shirts.
And that will help out with Kim as well. The basketballs will be for both, and then there will be some more other things too for the Cooperiders as well. But most importantly, folks, thank you so much, Traci.
Thank you
so much. And folks, just most importantly, keep them in your prayers. But don't go anywhere. We've got somebody else who's doing another event as well for the Cooperiders. I'll be right back.
Dagger Law has more than 110 years of experience in nearly every aspect of the law. When we're not just helping clients, we're helping the community. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and around town because we live and work here too. We are your neighbors, and we want to help you when you need it. When we help each other, we're stronger. Our community is stronger. Creating a strong, vibrant, healthy, and safe community is everyone's responsibility, and we take the responsibility seriously. We are local, we are trusted, we are experienced.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. I had mentioned in the last segment, there are folks who are doing fundraisers to help out with the Cooperiders and the things, unfortunate things that they have got going on in their life right now and in their family. And Audrey Miller and her mother are helping to do another fundraising event to help with that. And you just want to start with it because I saw the flyer that you had a few days ago. And then you, when I talked to you, you were just like, it has gotten so overwhelming as far as, which is a good blessing. I say be ready for blessings, and maybe you weren't quite ready for this blessing. No, but you make it happen, you make it work, don't you? So
Absolutely.
what are you doing?
And so so we had this idea, part of my small business where I sell shampoo with Monate. Every time we do any sort of event or any training, we always couple it with gratitude. It's a huge pillar in our business. And so we have an event coming up on February 3rd. And this is a training event for partners who are partnered with the company. And even though it's just us doing it, they want to do something, and we always want to give back. And so we have partners coming from all over the United States. So this will be it's just crazy how this has developed. But we wanted to collect items to do a basket raffle and just do what we could to raise some profits for the Cooperider family, who we love and adore. And like you said, I posted this flyer on Facebook looking for donations, and wow, I mean, we've been blown away, absolutely blown away at the generosity and the loving hearts of our community. I mean, they are a family that they're easy to love. They are. They just are. Yeah. And I knew even doing this that it would be big. Like I knew they would. I want to say I knew, but I had no idea. I guess is what I'm saying. We also love
but you didn't.
We also love the Cooperider family. We go way back. I've known Michelle my whole life. She actually was my volleyball coach. Funny enough, because then I got to coach her daughter in volleyball at Fairfield Union. So. Michelle coached me at Burn Union, and then I coached her daughter, and her kids are close to my daughter, and they're just, her and Ron and the kids, I mean, they've raised wonderful kids, but her and Ron are just always willing to lend a helping hand, always there to pick up pieces when families need it, always have smiles on their face.
Yes, funny personalities that are just great.
And I was thinking of some things about them, just kind of reminiscing, and I just feel like they've always been there to give wisdom. I think they've always been there for encouragement and wisdom and guidance, and just very special people. And it's very clear how much they've impacted so many people's lives in our community.
Yeah. Yes, they have. So. And you've got another event coming up that we got really fast time, because time gets by me.
Yes.
So that you wanted to share with folks too.
Because our community support has been so much support, we wanted to do something where the community could come together and physically be there to also enjoy the raffle items and raise money. So for the family, we're doing a spaghetti dinner on February 11th. It will be held at the Pleasant Township Fire Department.
Okay.
More wonderful people coming together to help us put that on. So it will be a spaghetti dinner February 11th from 5 to 7, and we will be doing raffle baskets that night too.
Tickets ahead of time or not?
Nope, no tickets ahead of time, tickets there, and you do have to be present to win, so you can take the baskets home with you that night.
Perfect. Audrey, thank you so much. And
thank
your mom
you.
And all of the work and everything. Folks, they are so amazing, these people. And so if you can be there and keep watching, because I will share what you share on social media and the flyers and things
Definitely
as well.
Watch social media. It's going around.
Keep putting it out there on Down Home with Tina. So folks, help them out. Thank you so much for watching this week's Down Home with Tina show. And I'll be back next week. God bless and good day.